As the years passed, Elena's work became known for its quiet intensity, often featuring solitary figures bathed in pools of warm light amidst darker surroundings. Critics and collectors appreciated the depth hidden within those paintings, recognizing the subtle strength they portrayed. Though Elena remained humble, she couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. She had found her style, and her name was slowly gaining recognition in the art world. Yet, despite the external success, Elena often felt a hollowness within. There were nights when the applause faded and the gallery walls seemed to close in on her, reminding her of the solitude that still lingered in her life. She yearned for a connection that went beyond the polite conversations and the clinking of glasses at art receptions. Then came the day that changed everything. Elena was working on a new piece, her brushstrokes frantic, when the doorbell rang. She hesitated, debating whether to answer. Perhaps it was a collector or a member of the press. Elena wasn't particularly fond of interviews. Just as she considered ignoring the bell, a name echoed through the house: Adrian. With a jolt, Elena rushed to the door. She couldn't believe her eyes. Standing on her doorstep was Adrian, his hair a shade darker, his eyes still holding the same warmth. But it was the smile crinkling the corners of his eyes that made Elena's heart race. In that instant, memories flooded back, erasing the years. All she could think of was the warmth of his hugs, the sound of his laughter echoing in her small apartment. Most importantly, the feeling of his hand intertwined with hers, a silent promise of forever. After 3 long years, he was finally here. Elena, he breathed, reaching out as if afraid to touch her. She didn't move, didn't speak. She simply stared, her whole world narrowing down to the hope blooming in his eyes and the ghost of his smile. Then Adrian stepped back, the smile fading. His hand dropped, fingers curling into fists. "I'm sorry," he murmured, looking away. "It's been so long. I didn't know if I had the right to call." Elena shook her head, tears blurring her vision. It wasn't about the length of time, she wanted to say. It was about the depth of feeling. 3 years meant nothing when she thought of the years spent together. The laughter, the secrets, the dreams they'd woven. She stepped aside, letting him enter her home. The walls seemed to brighten, the shadows retreating, as if embarrassed for having lingered too long. She gestured toward the table by her easel, but Adrian remained rooted to the spot, his eyes scanning the room. "What are you waiting for?" Elena whispered, her voice catching. "I have to tell you something," he replied, his gaze finding hers. "Something important." Before Elena could respond, a wave of weariness washed over her. She sank onto the table, exhaustion pulling at her eyelids. Later, she managed, her voice barely audible. "We have all night." Adrian looked as if he wanted to argue, but seeing the genuine fatigue etched on her face, he relented. "All right," he said, his voice softer now, "but please, promise me you won't forget." Elena nodded, unable to speak. As Adrian moved to the table, a whirlwind of emotions swirled within her. Fear, excitement, hope. Was this reunion a chance to rekindle what they had? Or was it merely a farewell before he moved on? That evening, Elena didn't push for answers. She listened as Adrian recounted his travels, the new places, the faces, the experiences that had shaped him in her absence. And all the while, she noticed how often he paused, glancing at her from the corner of his eye, searching for something in her gaze. The hours slipped by like fallen leaves in the wind. As the city lights twinkled outside her window, Elena felt a profound sadness envelop her. It wasn't just Adrian's impending departure that weighed on her. It was the realization that she and Adrian had grown apart during their separation. While he had returned, a part of him remained elsewhere, carrying the echoes of experiences she wasn't a part of. When Adrian finally fell silent, Elena gently touched his arm. "Why did you come back?" she asked, her voice laced with emotion. "Because I need you," he confessed, his eyes locking onto hers. "I've searched for you in crowded rooms, in the laughter of friends, in the quiet moments before sleep. I needed to know if there's still a place for me in your world." The honesty in his voice, the vulnerability in his eyes, it was all too much for Elena. She leaned in, bridging the distance between them. Their lips met, not with the explosive passion of their youth, but with a tenderness born of understanding and maturity. In that kiss, Alina found solace and a flicker of hope that maybe, just maybe, their love story wasn't over. As dawn painted the sky with hues of gold and rose, Alina awoke to the gentle caress of sunlight on her skin. She stirred, turning to the side, expecting to find Adrian sleeping beside her, but the sheets were cold, empty. A note lay on the table beside her bed, penned in Adrian's familiar handwriting. "I'm sorry, Alina," it began. "I know I promised to stay, but I can't. Not yet. I still carry pieces of the past within me, memories and emotions that aren't ready to be laid to rest. I'm afraid that if I stay, those ghosts will hurt you." With trembling hands, Alina reread the words, each one a fresh wound on her soul. Adrian had left, taking a piece of her heart with him. The day stretched before her, leaden and grey, mirroring the hollowness within her. She wandered through the city, its vibrant colors dulled, its bustling crowds distant and intrusive. Everywhere she turned, she saw reminders of Adrian, in the worn cobblestones, in the melodies of street musicians, in the laughter of children playing. The city she once loved threatened to consume her with its relentless pulse, its indifferent beauty. But amidst the despair, a tiny spark flickered. Alina remembered the artist she once was, the one who poured her soul onto canvas, creating worlds of color and light. With newfound determination, Alina delved into her work. Each brushstroke became a testament to her resilience, each shade a whisper of her pain. The studio, once filled with haunting echoes, now resonated with the rhythm of creation. Months turned into a year, the seasons shifting like her mood from vibrant hues to muted tones. Alina's art drew attention, but it was a hollowed success. The critics praised her raw emotion, the collectors bid on her pieces, but none of it filled the void within her. She had poured her heart into her work, but it wasn't enough. The memory of Adrian's love and his goodbye loomed over her like a shroud, suffocating the joy from her creations. Then, one rainy afternoon, something shifted. Alina stood before one of her latest pieces, a self-portrait staring back at her, eyes devoid of light, palette drained of color. "Is this all I am?" she whispered, her voice cracking. A collection of bruises and half-forgotten dreams. At that moment, Alina realized she couldn't keep running from the echoes of the past. She had to confront them, had to understand why Adrian's love had both blessed and burdened her life. With newfound determination, Alina embarked on a journey to uncover the truth. Seeking answers in the fragments of their shared history, hoping to find closure in the remnants of their love story. The truth was a tapestry woven with threads of sacrifice, unspoken words and buried emotions. As Alina peeled back the layers, she discovered that Adrian's love wasn't a burden, it was a gift, a testament to the enduring power of human connection. In the quiet moments that followed, Alina felt a profound sense of peace settle over her. She understood now why Adrian's love had both illuminated and shadowed her existence. It wasn't about blame or regret, it was about growth. Alina realized that Adrian's decision to leave, however painful, had given her the space to rediscover herself, her passions, her strength. His love had taught her the depths of human emotion, and his absence had shown her the strength within her own heart. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the city, Alina returned to her art studio, her steps lighter, her spirits soaring. The canvas before her seemed to vibrate with new possibilities. Colors danced, textures beckoned, and Alina, armed with her newfound wisdom, was ready to embrace them.